Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, depending on when the market decided to test your emotional resilience. This is the SENB Daily Brief. And today, clarity is being debated, liquidity is being promised, and X is doing what X does best, screaming before checking the footnotes. Let's get into it.
You're listening to the SENB Daily Brief, powered by Whole Shot Coffee.
All right, let's start with the numbers, because despite the noise, the charts are actually pretty calm. Bitcoin is holding around $95,000 to $96,000, consolidating after the recent move. We're seeing higher lows on the daily, momentum curling up, and no sign of panic. Ethereum is trading just above 3,300, continuing to respect its short-term moving averages. Not explosive, but constructive. Solana is hovering in the low 140s, showing steady recovery after its down channel break. Momentum is improving, but it's still a market that rewards patience. XRP remains range-bound around $2, with momentum cooling after the recent pop. No collapse, just digestion. Zooming out sentiment-wise, the crypto fear and greed index is sitting at 50. Perfectly neutral. Not euphoric, not fearful, just waiting. Bitcoin dominance is just over 59%, still elevated. That tells us capital is cautious, selective, and not ready to fully rotate into risk. In other words, the market is calm. The timeline, not so much. When we come back, we'll get into what most of you want to know, the Clarity Act. That's coming up next.
You're listening to the SENB Daily Brief, powered by Whole Shot Coffee.
Okay, everyone calm down. I know this is why you clicked on the video, so here it is. Let's talk about the Clarity Act, because this is where things start getting interesting. As of today, the Senate Banking Committee has postponed its scheduled markup of the bill. Not killed, not withdrawn, postponed. Why? Because there are more than 130 proposed amendments on the table covering stablecoins, DeFi, custody, token classification, and tokenized equities. Translation, lawmakers are trying to avoid breaking the industry while claiming they fixed it. Supporters of the bill, largely Senate Republicans and several major crypto firms, argue that imperfect clarity is better than regulatory chaos. They want to find lanes, reduced SEC overreach, and a shift towards CFTC-style oversight for mature networks. On the other side, Coinbase has officially pulled support. Brian Armstrong called the current draft worse than the status quo, citing restrictions on tokenized equities, stablecoin rewards, and potential harm to DeFi innovation. Meanwhile, state regulators are nervous, banks are protecting turf, and social media is announcing trillion-dollar liquidity events like it's a guaranteed DLC drop. To be clear, no bill has passed today, no signature has happened, no instant liquidity wave is scheduled for 2 p.m. If you're seeing posts claiming otherwise, congratulations, you've discovered engagement farming. The reality is this, the Clarity Act is stalled, not dead. Revisions are coming, and whatever finally passes will almost certainly look different from what either side wants today. So, that's where we stand on the Clarity Act today. No signatures, no instant liquidity, just legislation doing what legislation always does, moving slowly and irritating everyone equally. But here's the interesting part. Because whenever regulation hits the timeline, the questions come fast, and they come loud. So today, we're opening up an extended Proof-of-Thought Mailbag. We're going to dig into what people are asking, what's being misunderstood, and what actually matters beneath all the hype. Let's hear what the community is thinking. Stay with me.
You're listening to the SENB Daily Brief, powered by Whole Shot Coffee.
All right, Proof-of-Thought Mailbag time. And judging by the timeline today, a lot of you drank 3 cups of hopium before breakfast. So, let's bring the blood pressure down. First comment. If the Clarity Act passes today, are we going straight to new all-time highs? Yes, immediately. The president signs the bill, and a helicopter drops liquidity directly onto your wallet. No. Legislation doesn't work like a meme coin launch. Clarity is a process, not a price candle. Next one. Why is crypto dumping if this bill is supposed to be bullish? Because markets price expectations, not press releases. A delayed bill isn't bearish, it's just boring. And markets hate boredom almost as much as they hate uncertainty. Here's a popular one. Is Coinbase killing the bill on purpose? Yes. Brian Armstrong woke up this morning and chose chaos. No. Coinbase is protecting its business model. That doesn't make them villains or heroes. It makes them a corporation. Next question. Does this mean DeFi is dead? Yes, DeFi has died every 6 months since 2018, yet somehow it keeps showing up to work. Regulators arguing about DeFi is actually proof it matters. Nobody regulates things that don't threaten the system. Another one I keep seeing. Why can't they just pass a clean bill? Because that would require Congress to agree on something. This bill has over 100 amendments. That's not dysfunction. That's negotiation. Welcome to government. This one made me laugh. Is this the biggest setback in crypto history? Buddy, we survived Mt. Gox, FTX, Terra Luna, and whatever 2022 was. A delayed markup doesn't even make the top 10. Perspective matters. All right, this one I actually want to stop on. From @RampageWhales. Actually, look forward to the Daily Brief. That means more than you probably realize, especially coming from the Tooker community and across the pond in the UK. Glad to have you here. And no, we don't take that lightly. Last one for today. So, what actually matters right now? What matters is this. Clarity isn't dead. Markets aren't broken. And no one is flipping $1 trillion switch overnight. Progress looks boring while it's happening. That's how you know it's real. All right, that's enough inbox therapy for one day. If your timeline still feels loud, maybe log off for 5 minutes. When we come back, one final thought. No charts, no hot takes, just perspective. Stay right there.
You're listening to the SENB Daily Brief, powered by Whole Shot Coffee.
And we're back. Okay. Every cycle has a moment like this, where the market isn't moving much, but people's emotions are doing parkour. Bills get delayed, headlines get dramatic, timelines turn into echo chambers. But here's the reality. Clarity doesn't arrive in a single vote, a single bill, or a single tweet. It arrives slowly, through revisions, through pushback, through arguments that actually matter, and definitely not through breaking posts that age like milk in 12 hours. Markets are stabilizing, sentiment is recalibrating, and the adults are still in the room. You don't need to react to everything. You don't need to front-run every rumor, and you definitely don't need to panic trade legislation. Zoom out, stay patient, let the process play out. That's how you survive cycles. That's how you keep conviction. And that's how you stay ahead. I'm SENB Hero. This was the SENB Daily Brief. We'll do it again tomorrow. The SENB Daily Brief is a production of SENB Hero Media in collaboration with Whole Shot Coffee, coffee that fuels champions. Written and hosted by yours truly, SENB Hero. Production, editing, and scheduling handled by Maya Valencia, who somehow keeps me on time, caffeinated, and occasionally polite. Original theme music composed and produced by Paul Hahn, the community legend whose beats hit harder than a Fed rate hike. Research support provided by the SENB community. Proof that sarcasm and spreadsheets can coexist. For more shows, merch, and on-chain chaos, visit senbheromedia.com. Thanks for tuning in. Stay caffeinated. And remember, if it's not in the brief, it probably wasn't bullish anyway.
Set my wallet free.